There are a lot of initiatives right now aimed at helping entrepreneurs, boot camps, accelerators, incubators, startup conferences. Is this helpful?
Depends on what the goal is. I think if the goal is here's how to build a great company and here are some entrepreneurs who have done it, or here are some operations folks behind it, I think that's incredibly useful. I think there's a lot of the angel investors that are in our company are former entrepreneurs. They've given us really, really great feedback about hiring, about structuring our business, about going after certain business segments. And if the boot camp is about how to raise venture money, it's really only going to be relevant to a small percentage of people. And frankly, I think it's better off to teach people how to build a great business than teach people how to get funded.
Do you think entrepreneurs are spending too much time and too much of their energy focused on trying to raise venture capital funding right now?
Yes, absolutely. And not just right now, but really in any environment. I think that great businesses get funded by VCs. And if you spend all your time focused on building a great business, the VCs will come and the outside investors and customers and all that sort of stuff. And so solving a real problem in a unique way is definitely should be the number one priority of startups.
So is it almost as if this generation of entrepreneurs has gotten sort of too sophisticated about the financing?
Well, it's interesting because I think VCs have become a lot more open about the process. I used to be at Union Square Ventures, and we were pretty public about our blogging, and so people feel closer to potentially getting venture capital than they used to be because they can interact more with VCs across a couple of different mediums or see them more in conferences or meetings. And statistically, it's not any easier than it is to get venture capital these days. In fact, maybe harder because more people are out there with new ideas and the technology is easier to build. So, I think it's kind of a lightning strike, and statistically somebody is going to get that money, but it's probably not going to be you. And so building a business model that depends on investment is pretty problematic because that means you're going to have a low chance of success.
You blogged recently that you almost wish you had never heard of venture capital. Why?
Well, we are certainly guilty of looking at an investment as part of our plan, so saying, this much money can build us, this amount of product or revenue. And I think in hindsight, had we in the beginning focused on executing on the revenue model, because it's not like we didn't know what it would be, but we just sort of put it off because they said, well, we're going to spend some investor money generating growth and traction and then monetize, when we could have been monetizing probably much earlier, but we assumed there would be a venture market to get us there, and it's been somewhat difficult.
Is Path101 still raising around this year?
We're always raising. In the wise words of David Kidder, always be raising. And so we're constantly talking to investors and potential partners, trying to generate interest and feedback in our company. So, but I think one thing that's changed is the sort of mindset of, if it happens, great. Otherwise, our primary focus is absolutely trying to be self-sustainable.